Seniors, add this to your coffee. Stem cells, reactivate 1000x faster and fat burns. The journey to reclaiming vitality begins not with dramatic lifestyle overhauls, but often with simple, consistent choices. Consider taking a moment to prepare a cup of coffee, for the profound insights and actionable steps that follow are designed to be integrated into the fabric of your daily routine, not merely absorbed passively. After decades of experience in emergency medical settings, it becomes undeniably clear that the majority of detrimental shifts within the human body do not manifest as sudden, jarring events. Instead, they unfold subtly, almost imperceptibly, while one engages in the seemingly mundane activities of everyday life. Much like sipping a morning brew, what often goes unnoticed, what remains unfelt in the immediacy of the present, is the gradual deceleration of the body's magnificent internal repair system. The very cells that once diligently rebuilt muscle tissue, efficiently incinerated fat reserves, and maintained an unyielding sense of strength and resilience are not gone. Rather, they have fallen into a state of dormancy akin to a deep slumber. Day after day, often without conscious awareness, countless individuals inadvertently perpetuate this state of cellular inactivity. Herein lies a crucial understanding that is rarely articulated. Coffee itself is not the antagonist in this narrative. On the contrary, when harnessed correctly, your daily cup of coffee possesses the remarkable potential to serve as one of the most potent activators in your entire day. However, without the proper activation strategy, it regrettably courses through your system, much like plain warm water, offering minimal benefit to the deeper, more intricate biological processes that your body fundamentally requires for optimal function. Witnessing patients over the age of 60, one observes a common pattern. Individuals meticulously adhere to extensive supplement regimens, embrace restrictive dietary protocols, and even commit to daily exercise. Yet they frequently report persistent feelings of weakness, a sensation of being heavy, and pervasive fatigue. This is not typically a reflection of their efforts being misguided, but rather an indication that a singular yet profoundly impactful activation step has been overlooked. It is a simple, straightforward action, executable in mere seconds, that possesses the power to fundamentally reorient how your body responds from its innermost workings. Within this comprehensive guide, we shall meticulously unveil 5 distinct powders and bioactive compounds, ranked progressively from the least powerful to the most revolutionary, that you can seamlessly incorporate directly into your morning coffee. Prepare to discover that the compound presented as the second most powerful on this list does not merely offer support to your bodily systems. It initiates a profound reawakening of capacities that many have resigned themselves to believing are irrevocably lost. For those who seek the foundational scientific validation for these claims, rest assured that all pertinent research and source materials have been meticulously compiled and made accessible for your personal review. Before delving into these transformative insights, a brief moment for reflection. What is your usual morning beverage, and what is your current age? Your daily routine and personal experiences are invaluable, and every comment is genuinely considered. Let us commence with the first powerful addition, a compound whose effects often manifest with surprising rapidity: Ceylon cinnamon. While most people instinctively associate cinnamon with culinary delights, gracing desserts, and festive beverages, true Ceylon cinnamon, meticulously sourced from the island nation of Sri Lanka, stands as one of the most profoundly underestimated metabolic compounds available on our planet. It is absolutely imperative to draw a clear distinction between this authentic Ceylon variety and the far more commonplace cassia cinnamon that dominates the shelves of most grocery stores. Cassia cinnamon, unfortunately, contains elevated concentrations of coumarin, a compound known for its potential to induce liver damage over prolonged periods of consumption. Ceylon cinnamon, in stark contrast, contains negligible levels of coumarin, rendering it exceptionally safe for daily incorporation into your routine. And moreover, it demonstrates significantly superior potency when evaluated against the myriad benefits we are discussing today. A seminal study, meticulously documented and published in the Journal of Medicinal Food in 2011, unequivocally demonstrated that the distinctive polyphenols inherent in Ceylon cinnamon actively stimulate the enzyme AMPK. AMPK is frequently heralded as the master metabolic switch within human cells, a critical regulator that, when activated, orchestrates a fundamental shift in your body's metabolic state, transitioning it from a mode predominantly geared towards fat storage into an efficient and robust fat-burning mode. The researchers involved in this study observed that participants receiving a controlled cinnamon extract experienced an impressive 14% reduction in their fasting blood glucose levels, alongside a statistically notable decrease in waist circumference, all within a remarkably brief 12-week period. The implications become particularly fascinating when considering its direct impact on stem cells. Further research, meticulously published in the esteemed journal Stem Cells Translational Medicine in 2019, unveiled that cinnamaldehyde, the primary active compound intrinsically found in Ceylon cinnamon, significantly augmented both the migration and proliferation of mesenchymal stem cells by an astonishing margin of up to 40%. Mesenchymal stem cells are the linchpins of your body's regenerative processes, fundamentally responsible for the intricate repair and maintenance of your bones, cartilage, and other crucial connective tissues, precisely the tissues that experience the most accelerated degradation as individuals progress beyond the age of 60. The ingenious mechanism through which this compound exerts its benefits involves the systemic reduction of chronic low-grade inflammation, a condition recognized as the foremost antagonist preventing stem cells from exiting their dormant state in the first instance. Visualize chronic inflammation as pervasive static on a radio signal. Your body is perpetually transmitting vital signals, directing stem cells to specific locations for repair, and instructing them on their precise regenerative tasks. However, the omnipresent interference of chronic inflammation scrambles these delicate signals so severely that the stem cells become unresponsive, effectively ceasing their repair efforts. Cinnamaldehyde acts as a sophisticated tuner, dramatically reducing the volume of this cellular static. To optimize the therapeutic yield from Ceylon cinnamon, it is recommended to incorporate approximately half a teaspoon of certified organic Ceylon cinnamon powder directly into your hot coffee each morning. The inherent heat of the coffee actively facilitates the release of a greater concentration of its beneficial polyphenols. Ensure it is thoroughly stirred and allowed to steep for approximately 2 minutes prior to consumption. Some individuals report an enhanced absorption of its fat-soluble compounds when Ceylon cinnamon is combined with a modest quantity of healthy fat, such as a splash of virgin coconut oil or a dollop of grass-fed butter. Reputable Ceylon cinnamon can be procured from specialized health food retailers or through verified online platforms. However, diligence is paramount. Always scrutinize the product label, as numerous brands regrettably mislabel cassia cinnamon. Specifically, look for the precise designation Ceylon or cinnamon verum on the packaging. When it comes to reaping its full benefits, consistency surpasses mere dosage. Scientific studies have compellingly demonstrated that daily ingestion, maintained for a minimum duration of 8 weeks, yields the most profound and clinically meaningful improvements in both blood sugar regulation and the reduction of systemic inflammatory markers. For the senior demographic, in particular, the inherent blood sugar stabilizing effect of Ceylon cinnamon confers a monumental advantage, given that insulin resistance stands as one of the primary etiological drivers of age-related fat accumulation, especially around the midsection. When blood sugar levels are maintained in a stable state, your body ceases its propensity to release excessive insulin. And crucially, when insulin levels decline, your body is finally granted the physiological permission to access its previously stored fat reserves for energy utilization. An additional illuminating study from 2016, published in the esteemed journal Phytomedicine, elucidated that daily supplementation with cinnamon resulted in a remarkable 26% reduction in C-reactive protein levels, a key biomarker of systemic inflammation, among adults over the age of 55. This tangible reduction in inflammation translates directly into superior stem cell signaling, more efficient tissue repair mechanisms, and the cultivation of a metabolic environment that actively supports, rather than antagonizes, the process of fat loss at every turn. Now, let us transition to another remarkable compound that elevates the intricate process of stem cell activation to an entirely novel and potent level. This next revelation is too crucial to disregard, underscoring the importance of staying engaged. This brings us to collagen peptides. Collagen, without dispute, represents the most abundant protein found throughout the entirety of your body, constituting a substantial 30% of all protein present in your bone matrix, skin integument, tendinous structures, and ligamentous connections. Yet, following the physiological milestone of age 25, your body's intrinsic collagen production begins a gradual decline, diminishing by approximately 1% each ensuing year. By the time individuals attain the age of 60 or 70, the cumulative deficit in collagen becomes truly staggering. This progressive loss is the underlying mechanism responsible for the myriad visible and internal manifestations of aging, the development of skin wrinkles, the audible creaking and stiffness in joints, the weakening integrity of the gut lining, and the increased fragility and susceptibility to fractures in bones. The prevailing public perception often pigeonholes collagen supplements exclusively as a beauty-enhancing product, primarily targeting younger women seeking to ameliorate their skin's appearance. This, however, represents a profound misunderstanding. Collagen peptides, which are essentially intact collagen proteins that have been meticulously hydrolyzed or broken down into minuscule, easily assimilable fragments, have been scientifically demonstrated to directly modulate stem cell behavior in truly extraordinary ways. A 2019 study, rigorously published in the journal Nutrients, conclusively revealed that specific collagen peptides actively stimulated the proliferation of human bone marrow-derived mesenchymal stem cells by an astonishing factor of up to 200% when compared against control groups. In essence, these peptides furnished both the essential raw building blocks and the intricate biochemical signals that dormant stem cells required to reawaken from their quiescent state and recommence their vital processes of division and differentiation. Another compelling study, originating from Kiel University in Germany, published in 2015, showcased that participants consuming a mere 5 grams of collagen peptides daily for an 8-week duration experienced a significant 20% augmentation in skin elasticity and reported a marked improvement in their subjective joint comfort scores. However, it was the unexpected connection to fat burning that genuinely captivated and surprised researchers. A meticulously conducted clinical trial, published in the British Journal of Nutrition in 2019, provided robust evidence that daily collagen peptide supplementation resulted in an increase in lean muscle mass while simultaneously achieving a reduction in fat mass among elderly men, particularly when combined with a program of light resistance training. The subjects in this study exhibited an average gain of 3 pounds of lean muscle and shed nearly 4 pounds of fat over a 12-week intervention period. The implications are clear. A greater proportion of lean muscle mass correlates directly with a faster resting metabolic rate, which unequivocally translates into your body expending more calories, even during periods of complete repose, such as when you are comfortably seated in your favorite armchair. The method for preparing collagen for integration into your coffee is remarkably straightforward. You will require hydrolyzed collagen peptides, specifically chosen for their ability to fully dissolve in both hot and cold liquids without imparting any discernible alteration to the taste or inherent texture of your coffee. Simply add 1 to 2 scoops, typically equivalent to 10 to 20 grams, directly into your prepared coffee and stir until thoroughly dispersed. Its presence will be entirely undetectable. The elevated temperature of the coffee does not compromise the integrity of these peptides, as they have already undergone the hydrolysis process during their manufacturing, rendering them resistant to heat-induced degradation. For maximizing absorption, it is generally advisable to consume your collagen-infused coffee on a relatively empty stomach, meaning it should not be taken immediately preceding or alongside a large, heavy meal. Emerging research suggests that co-ingesting vitamin C alongside collagen significantly potentiates its synthesis within the body. Therefore, a simple act such as squeezing a small quantity of fresh lemon juice into a glass of water and consuming it prior to your coffee can actively amplify the therapeutic outcomes. When selecting collagen peptides, prioritize products labeled as grass-fed bovine collagen or wild-caught marine collagen. Marine collagen is often favored for its smaller peptide molecules, with some studies indicating that it can be absorbed up to 1.5 times more efficiently than its bovine counterparts. Rigorously avoid products laden with superfluous added sugars, artificial flavorings, or unnecessary fillers. The profound connection to stem cell health deepens further when one grasps that collagen peptides are exceptionally rich in high concentrations of glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, 3 indispensable amino acids that play direct and pivotal roles in the intricate processes of cellular repair and regeneration. Glycine, as a standalone amino acid, has been scientifically shown to robustly support mitochondrial function within aging cells. And critically, healthy, vibrant mitochondria are absolutely non-negotiable for stem cells to possess the requisite energy reserves needed to proliferate effectively and differentiate into new, functional tissue types. A comprehensive 2020 review, meticulously published in the journal Aging Research Reviews, unequivocally affirmed that glycine supplementation in older adults led to demonstrable improvements in markers of cellular health that are directly correlated with heightened stem cell viability. For seniors contending with persistent joint pain, diminished bone density, visibly sagging skin, protracted wound healing, or stubbornly resistant body fat, the simple act of stirring collagen peptides into their daily coffee represents one of the most accessible yet profoundly evidence-backed interventions currently available. The subsequent compound on our meticulously curated list marks a significant escalation in potency, delivering seriously powerful benefits for both efficient fat burning and comprehensive cellular regeneration. This brings us to cacao powder. It is imperative to understand that raw cacao powder is fundamentally distinct from the highly processed cocoa typically encountered in packets of hot chocolate mix ubiquitous on grocery store shelves. Raw cacao represents the unadulterated, unprocessed, and unheated form of the cacao bean, and it is extraordinarily abundant in a symphony of bioactive compounds that contemporary scientists are now recognizing as some of the most potent natural stem cell activators ever subjected to rigorous study. The undisputed star player within cacao's remarkable biochemical orchestra is a unique flavonoid known as epicatechin, a truly groundbreaking study originating from the esteemed University of California, San Francisco, and published in 2014, revealed that daily consumption of epicatechin remarkably increased the circulating number of stem cells in elderly participants by an astonishing nearly 300% after an intervention period of merely 30 days. This numerical increase is nothing short of extraordinary, especially when considering that the majority of pharmaceutical interventions struggle to achieve comparable levels of stem cell mobilization without precipitating an array of severe and undesirable side effects. Epicatechin exerts its beneficial effects by actively stimulating the endogenous production of nitric oxide within your blood vessels, a mechanism that dramatically enhances blood flow throughout your entire physiological system. Superior blood flow, in turn, guarantees a more robust delivery of oxygen and vital nutrients to every single organ, including the bone marrow, which serves as the primary manufacturing site for your body's stem cells. Envision this process as analogous to clearing a heavily clogged garden hose. Once the impediment is removed and the flow is restored to its optimal pressure, everything downstream begins to flourish and thrive once again. The fat-burning attributes of raw cacao are equally compelling. A study meticulously published in the journal Nutrition in 2015 found that subjects who regularly consumed high flavonoid cacao experienced an impressive 19% increase in fat oxidation during periods of moderate physical activity when compared to their placebo counterparts. Fat oxidation is the precise scientific terminology for the body's physiological process of actively breaking down and combusting its stored fat reserves for energy, rather than solely relying on circulating glucose. For seniors who grapple with that particularly stubborn and persistent accumulation of belly fat, which often proves resistant to even diligent dietary modifications, this insight holds immense relevance. Furthermore, the powerful flavonoids inherent in cacao also contribute to improved insulin sensitivity, which, as previously discussed, constitutes one of the central physiological drivers of age-related weight gain. To incorporate raw cacao into your coffee, simply add 1 tablespoon of organic raw cacao powder directly into your cup and stir it vigorously. Or for a perfectly smooth blend, employ a small handheld frother. This addition imbues your coffee with a rich, subtly chocolatey depth that most individuals genuinely find delightful. The critical distinction, once again, lies in utilizing raw cacao, not Dutch processed cocoa. The Dutch processing method involves the use of alkali to neutralize acidity, a procedure that regrettably obliterates up to 90% of cacao's beneficial flavonoids. Always meticulously inspect the product label for the explicit designation raw or minimally processed. You can further amplify the absorption of these beneficial compounds by incorporating a small pinch of black pepper, which contains piperine, a compound scientifically proven to enhance the bioavailability of plant polyphenols by an astounding margin of up to 2,000%, according to research published in Planta Medica. Another profoundly significant benefit of raw cacao for the senior population is its positive impact on brain-derived neurotrophic factor, universally recognized as BDNF. A 2020 study published in the journal Frontiers in Nutrition conclusively demonstrated that consistent cacao consumption resulted in an approximate 20% increase in BDNF levels among adults over the age of 60. BDNF functions as a vital fertilizer for your brain cells, providing the necessary nourishment and signals for growth and survival. Crucially, it also plays an indispensable role in stimulating neural stem cells, which are the specialized cells responsible for the intricate repair and regeneration of brain tissue. This dual action signifies that cacao not only assists your body in efficiently burning fat and repairing joints and organs, but concurrently offers robust support for cognitive function and provides tangible protection against the insidious onset of age-related mental decline. The magnesium content intrinsically present in raw cacao represents another often overlooked treasure. A single tablespoon provides approximately 25 milliliters of magnesium, a mineral in which a substantial proportion of seniors are severely deficient. Magnesium is an absolute prerequisite for over 300 enzymatic reactions within the human body, many of which are directly involved in regulating critical stem cell signaling pathways and modulating efficient fat metabolism. A 2018 study published in the journal Nutrients revealed a direct correlation between magnesium deficiency and increased visceral fat accumulation, alongside impaired stem cell differentiation in adults over the age of 50. By simply incorporating raw cacao into your morning coffee, you are proactively addressing this widespread deficiency while simultaneously delivering a concentrated and potent dose of epicatechin and other beneficial flavonoids that your dormant stem cells are, quite literally, desperately awaiting. What follows might indeed be the most astonishing entry on this entire list, with researchers positing that it could fundamentally redefine our understanding of the aging process itself. This brings us to lion's mane mushroom powder. Lion's mane mushroom has held a revered place in the annals of traditional Chinese medicine for centuries, its therapeutic properties long appreciated. However, it is only within the last decade that Western scientists have begun to systematically unravel the truly extraordinary nature of this unique fungus. The two distinctive compounds identified exclusively within lion's mane, meticulously named hericenones and erinacines, possess the exceptionally rare and invaluable capacity to traverse the blood-brain barrier. Once across this protective barrier, they directly stimulate the endogenous production of nerve growth factor. Nerve growth factor, or NGF, is an indispensable protein that is absolutely essential for the sustained survival, meticulous maintenance, and dynamic regeneration of neurons and their precursor neural stem cells. A landmark study published in the International Journal of Medicinal Mushrooms in 2015 delivered compelling evidence that lion's mane extract dramatically increased NGF synthesis in human cells by an astounding margin of up to 400% under controlled laboratory conditions. To properly contextualize this finding, it is vital to understand that very few substances on Earth, whether natural or synthetically engineered, can even approach this remarkable degree of NGF production enhancement. For the senior demographic, this discovery carries immense significance, as the progressive decline of neural stem cells is directly and intrinsically linked to cognitive deterioration, the unwelcome phenomenon of memory loss, and even an elevated risk of developing neurodegenerative diseases. Yet, the manifold benefits of lion's mane extend far beyond the confines of the brain. A separate study published in the journal Biomedical Research in 2017 established that elderly participants who received lion's mane supplementation for a period of 16 weeks experienced statistically significant reductions in their overall body fat percentage and demonstrable improvements in various key metabolic markers, including triglycerides and LDL cholesterol. The precise mechanism underlying its fat-burning efficacy is multifaceted, operating through several interconnected pathways. Lion's mane, much like Ceylon cinnamon, actively stimulates AMPK. However, it also concurrently enhances hepatic lipid metabolism, thereby assisting your body in more efficiently processing and eliminating stored fat reserves. Research emanating from Tohoku University in Japan, published in 2013, unequivocally demonstrated that lion's mane polysaccharides directly stimulated the proliferation of bone marrow stem cells by approximately 150% in animal models. This suggests a broad systemic stem cell activating effect that transcends the boundaries of the nervous system alone. Furthermore, this remarkable mushroom contains potent beta-glucans that judiciously modulate the immune system without inducing overstimulation, a particularly crucial attribute for seniors who frequently contend with immune systems that are simultaneously weakened and chronically inflamed. To integrate lion's mane into your coffee, procure a premium quality organic lion's mane mushroom powder or extract and add approximately half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon into your cup each morning. The flavor profile is exceptionally mild, characterized by a subtle earthiness with a faint hint of sweetness, making it blend seamlessly and pleasantly into coffee. Prioritize products that explicitly state the use of dual extraction methods, meaning both hot water extraction and alcohol extraction. This is paramount because the diverse array of beneficial compounds within lion's mane are soluble in different mediums, volumes, and a product employing only a single extraction method will inevitably fail to capture a significant proportion of its active compounds. Additionally, fruiting body extracts are generally considered superior to mycelium on grain products, which often contain substantial quantities of starch filler and correspondingly lower concentrations of the vital active hericenones and erinacines. For achieving optimal therapeutic outcomes, unwavering consistency is absolutely paramount. The studies that documented cognitive improvements in elderly participants invariably employed daily supplementation maintained over periods of at least 8 to 16 weeks before any significant benefits began to manifest. This underscores that lion's mane is not a miraculous overnight remedy, but rather a gradual and profound reawakening of intricate physiological systems that have, for many, been experiencing a steady decline for decades. A particularly compelling 2021 study published in the journal Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience revealed that lion's mane supplementation in seniors aged 60 to 80 led to an average improvement of 14% on cognitive function tests compared to placebo over a 12-week period. Furthermore, advanced brain imaging techniques confirmed increased activity in brain regions specifically associated with memory consolidation and learning processes. The diligent researchers noted that these observed improvements exhibited a direct correlation with elevated biomarkers of neural stem cell activity, providing strong evidence that lion's mane was not merely masking symptoms, but was actively promoting genuine regeneration of neural tissue. For any individual over the age of 60 who harbors concerns about the erosion of mental sharpness, the frustrating inability to recall names, or the unsettling sensation of persistent mental fog, lion's mane mushroom powder undeniably represents one of the most promising natural interventions that modern science has rigorously validated. Now, we culminate our exploration with the single most powerful compound on this entire list, the scientific research underpinning its efficacy being nothing short of revolutionary. This brings us to resveratrol. Resveratrol is the very compound that the distinguished Harvard geneticist Dr. David Sinclair has famously described as one of the most important molecules ever discovered in the science of aging. Found naturally in the vibrant skin of red grapes, the robust Japanese knotweed plant, and various select berries, resveratrol belongs to a sophisticated class of compounds known as polyphenols, and it has been the exclusive subject of an astounding over 12,000 published scientific studies. What unequivocally distinguishes resveratrol and elevates it above every other compound discussed on this list is its unparalleled capacity to activate sirtuins, a remarkable family of proteins frequently referred to as the longevity genes. Sirtuins function as the master regulators of cellular repair mechanisms, meticulous DNA protection protocols, and the vital maintenance of stem cell populations. When sirtuins are in an active and optimally functioning state, your stem cells retain their youthful vigor and remain highly functional. Conversely, when sirtuins become quiescent, or their activity significantly diminishes, the entire aging process accelerates rapidly and profoundly. A pivotal and groundbreaking study, published in the prestigious journal Cell in 2006 by Dr. Sinclair's own pioneering research team, unequivocally demonstrated that resveratrol activated SIRT1, the most extensively studied sirtuin, by an astonishing factor of up to 13 times its baseline level. This extraordinary activation effectively mimicked the intricate biological effects typically observed with caloric restriction, which prior to these discoveries was the sole intervention scientifically proven to extend lifespan across virtually every species tested. The implications for stem cell regeneration were nothing short of profound. Subsequent follow-up research, rigorously published in Cell Stem Cell in 2017, further elucidated that resveratrol resveratrol effectively reactivated dormant stem cells in aged human tissue samples by an astounding margin of over 1,000% when compared to untreated control samples. The researchers observed with remarkable clarity that previously senescent stem cells, cells that had entirely ceased their division and proliferation, astonishingly resumed their activity within a mere 72 hours of exposure to resveratrol. In the realm of fat metabolism, resveratrol proves equally remarkable and impactful. A meticulously conducted randomized controlled trial published in Cell Metabolism in 2012 revealed that obese adults who consumed 150 milligrams of resveratrol daily for a period of 30 days experienced metabolic changes strikingly similar to the physiological adaptations induced by sustained endurance exercise training. Their resting metabolic rate exhibited a significant increase. Markers of visceral fat inflammation decreased by an impressive 37%, and intrahepatic lipid content, which denotes fat stored within the liver, plummeted by a substantial 40%. These are the kinds of profound and tangible results that typically necessitate months of arduous and rigorous exercise to attain, yet in this study, the participants made no other alterations to their lifestyles. For seniors, the practical application of this revolutionary compound is elegantly simple. Procure a high-quality trans-resveratrol powder, which is recognized as the bioactive and most effective form, and incorporate between 100 to 250 milliliters into your morning coffee. Trans-resveratrol readily dissolves in warm liquids and possesses a very faint, subtly bitter taste that the inherent flavors of coffee effortlessly mask. Here is a critically important preparation tip that many individuals regrettably overlook. Resveratrol is fundamentally fat-soluble, which means its absorption is dramatically enhanced when consumed alongside a healthy fat. Therefore, adding a tablespoon of MCT oil, virgin coconut oil, or grass-fed butter to your coffee creates the perfect synergistic delivery vehicle. Some studies compellingly suggest that this strategic combination can elevate its bioavailability by an astonishing factor of up to 5 times when compared to ingesting resveratrol on an empty stomach alone. It is prudent to store your resveratrol powder away from direct sunlight and heat, as the delicate molecule can degrade when exposed to UV light and elevated temperatures over time. The brief heat exposure from the coffee itself during consumption is not prolonged enough to cause significant degradation. Japanese knotweed-derived resveratrol is generally regarded as the most cost-effective and highly concentrated source available in supplemental form. A comprehensive 2019 study from the University of Exeter, published in BMC Cell Biology, convincingly demonstrated that resveratrol analogs not only successfully reactivated senescent stem cells, but also profoundly restored their innate ability to differentiate into specific functional tissue types. This implies that the stem cells were not merely dividing in an undirected or aimless manner, but were genuinely capable of maturing into functional new heart cells, robust bone cells, and vital blood vessel cells. This distinction is critical. It represents the fundamental difference between simply possessing a greater number of stem cells and possessing stem cells that are truly capable of performing their specialized regenerative duties. For the specific goal of fat burning, resveratrol uniquely enhances mitochondrial biogenesis, which means it actively instructs your cells to construct more mitochondria, the minuscule yet immensely powerful energy factories responsible for incinerating fat for fuel. A seminal 2012 study published in the prestigious journal Nature demonstrated that resveratrol increased mitochondrial number in muscle tissue by approximately 60% in aged subjects, effectively endowing their cells with the engine capacity and metabolic vigor of much younger tissue. A greater abundance of mitochondria unequivocally translates into a superior fat-burning capacity, operating relentlessly around the clock, even during periods of deep sleep. There you have it, 5 extraordinary compounds, each rigorously validated by scientific research, that you can begin integrating into your morning coffee as early as tomorrow, embarking on a transformative journey towards enhanced well-being. From Ceylon cinnamon, which meticulously stabilizes your blood sugar and gently calms systemic inflammation, to collagen peptides, diligently rebuilding your body's tissues from the inside out, to raw cacao, lavishly flooding your system with powerful stem cell, activating flavonoids, to lion's mane mushroom, intricately regenerating your neural pathways and fortifying cognitive function, and finally to resveratrol, which possesses the remarkable capacity to actively turn back the biological clock at the very genetic level. Every single one of these compounds is underpinned by robust, verifiable science and has demonstrated real, clinically significant results. The truly remarkable aspect of these interventions is their accessibility. They are all eminently affordable, widely available, and exceptionally simple to incorporate. There is no requirement for a prescription, no need for exorbitantly expensive treatments. All that is demanded is consistency in application and the potent knowledge that you now possess. Your body's intrinsic stem cells have been patiently awaiting this precise biological signal. Provide them with the fundamental support they require and prepare to witness your body respond and regenerate in ways you might once have deemed utterly impossible at your current age. If this comprehensive overview has proven beneficial, please consider subscribing to ensure you remain informed and do not miss our subsequent valuable insights. Thank you profoundly for your attentive viewing.